go to the lines. 03717 223344. Let's go and speak to a Chelsea fan. Hinal is a Chelsea fan. Hinal, good evening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, it's not
Happy New Year, guys. Good evening to you both. I'm a huge Chelsea fan, and for me, Potter, he's lost. He has got no inspiration. I've failed to see what his tactics are after 14 games. I think with Tuchel, after 2 games, he played a back three and he was building. But with Tuchel, there's nothing. And no one seems to be asking him what he's trying to achieve here, what he's trying to do.
So here now, look, I'm not disagreeing with
Chelsea. He hasn't been a player or a manager for them or anything, unlike Arteta, who seems to be compared to him. He had a 32% win record against with Brighton, and you've stuck him in as the Chelsea manager. And I understand everyone's talking about injuries, but we played Forest and we drew, and doesn't matter what injuries, you had 11 internationals on that pitch. And I just don't think he can inspire the team. I don't think he can inspire the players, and I just don't see any hope going forward.
Okay, let me just. I can't disagree with anything you said there, but in the last 8 or 9 months, the upheaval that's happened at Chelsea, it's never happened before in English football where an owner was sanctioned. The whole club had to deal with that. I thought Tuchel done very well to get us into the Champions League. We've now had new owners, new manager. So the two of the biggest things that can happen at a football club have happened simultaneously, pretty much. Marina's gone, Petr Cech has gone. I don't quite know how they've left, but pretty much the whole club has been ripped up and started again. All right. And
I think a second part to that is I think Bowley is a big problem because he's never run a football club. He's lost as well, and it shows the recruitment. There's never been a plan. I think he just wanted a puppet who was going to listen to him and listen to his ideas and what he thinks about football and stuff. And Tuchel wasn't prepared to do that, but Potter seems to. And it feels like he's on a power trip. And he's not Roman, so his objective is to make money out of this club. And
we don't know
billions
that
he's invested.
Do you know what I think's hurt the club as well? On the pitch, Werner, Ziyech and Havertz haven't produced what they thought they were going to produce.
No,
they thought the three of them were going to be world beaters.
They've not.
And Lukaku coming back and just being an absolute flop from what we know he's capable of.
Lukaku and Werner both moved on now.
Yeah, but that's hurt the club as well.
Yeah, but that's
recruitment like that never Werner, like shambolic finishing.
Potter, I don't know what he's trying to. I don't see what his style of football is. I don't know what he's trying to play. There's nothing in it. At least with Tuchel, after 2 games, we've got a draw in the Champions League, and straight away you started to see, okay, this is the idea of football. This is what he's doing. You saw improvements from everyone. There's not one player that Potter has improved. Not one player that Potter has taken and said, okay, well, this is what I've made him into. With Tuchel, you saw it straight away. You saw all the improvements straight away. He took Alonso out of the team. He started, there was solid foundations to build from and stuff.
But also on that, Hinal, just on that, and again, you're right. He hasn't had to suffer the injuries now. 3 of the back 4 that would almost certainly start pretty much every game is Reece James, Fofana, of course, and Chilwell. And though he hasn't even had Fofana yet, he's only had Reece James for 5.5 games. He's only had Ben Chilwell for 7, and in those games they've only lost 1. And so there is a part of that. But what I'm saying about yesterday's performances is that's not acceptable because the way that the game. The way that the Chelsea played,
not. And nor was the Forest game. Do you remember the Forest
second
game?
half? The second half was
pathetic, absolutely pathetic, and that's down to the manager. It's his job to inspire these players. It's his job to train these players. And why is he not doing that? Why is he not training these players?
I'm going to try and defend him.
Where is the style of play? What is his ideas that he's trying to translate onto the pitch? At least if we could see something, we could support him. But there's nothing that we can see from him. There's absolutely no ideas on the pitch. There's no one working for each other. That's the manager's job.
And now, are you worried about Thursday?
It doesn't matter what you could give Potter £1 billion. It's not in him to be a football manager at the elite. It's not in him.
Right.
What's he ever won? He's got a 32% win percentage at Brighton, and he's now the Chelsea manager. We won the Champions League 18 months ago. We've been lifting trophies for the last 20 years.
Hinal.
Potter is not the guy.
Hinal, Happy New Year. Thanks for the call.
Happy New Year, mate.
Cheers, matey.
Thanks,
we get it off your chest. It's like we are. You know, the sit on the couch, lay down, and get it off your chest.
I'm not trying to chuck petrol on the fire, right? But
you're not doing that.
I'm not trying to throw petrol on the fire. But how
Here we
does
go.
Graham Potter motivate Aubameyang? He never signed him, right? So Aubameyang's thinking,
Yeah, but that's
what am
a
I
weird
doing
one,
here?
Isn't it? Is it not 3 days? I mean, after he signed, then Tuchel sacked 3 days later.
Well, Jace, if you lost talkSPORT £1 million in a day, right, you'd get sacked.
Oh, damn right I would.
If you lost
Only I
£1 million,
tenner.
if you made
I
a
think I-
decision out there
Yeah.
that cost talkSPORT £1 million, or like any company, if you're working in any company and you cost them £1 million, somebody sanctioned the deal to sign Aubameyang when they knew they were going to sack Tuchel.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And how much did they pay for him?
Unless something, I don't know, I don't recall.
How
Well,
much was it?
Well, it was more than $1 million.
No, how much did they pay for Aubameyang?
I can't, but 20 million, maybe?
Yeah, so someone's wasted £20 million because you'll have to give him away.
Yeah, that was all. Unless something had happened in the period where they signed Aubameyang and then Potter was sacked. Unless something happened that we don't know about.
Aubameyang should have said, I'm going back. You can't do that to me. You just signed to play. I would have said to if I would have been Aubameyang, I would have said, what are you doing to me?
But you sign for a club. You don't sign for the manager.
I signed for the manager.
Well, what if the manager was...
He's only left.
Well, you're signing for so you signed for Liverpool just for the manager?
He's only left that club because he knows Tuchel. He's played for him before. It's the only reason he's left to come to Chelsea. Was that
but
he played for Thomas Tuchel and he knew that he liked working with him. And all of a sudden, 3 days after he signs, he's gone £20 million down the drain.
That is weird. But let's go speak to Andrew, who's a Chelsea fan. Andrew, good evening. Happy New Year.
Hi, Andrew.
You all right?
Hi, Jason. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Pleasure.
Yeah. So that's just a soundbite because I'm absolutely gutted. I spent the evening with one of my mates. I went to the Southampton game away when we were with Tuchel. Just to be clear, we're a club in crisis, Jace. I mean, you know it. It
feels yes. There are some worrying performances, worrying results. Yes, it's worrying right now. I have to agree with that. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, I'm a criminal barrister, so is my mate I met tonight. So let's go on the basis of evidence, because that's how I approach the jury.
Okay.
A lot of red flags that we've got at the moment.
Hey, Jason, should we cut him off?
I'm never prosecuted, but let's be clear. The bottom line of it is this: the players are not playing for the manager. The performances are poor. Okay, the results are poor. There are a lot of red flags at the moment. Okay, I'm open to giving managers opportunities, but we are Chelsea, Jace. We are winners. What's the commonality the last 15 years?
No, I agree with that. But this is but I don't see right now. And look, things can change very quickly in football, both negative and positively. I don't see the point in getting rid of him right now because I want to see Potter judged when he has a full squad of players and he's coaching these players every single day. He can't coach them. I mean, the World Cup has come along as well. He's been thrown in, 3 or 4 weeks before the World Cup. He's had those injuries. He hasn't played for Fana. Not 1 minute has he played for Fana. And I think we need to, I would like to judge him. I'd like to judge him when he's had most of the squad. No squad is 100% fit all the time, but he's had to deal with that, and that there is a factor in there. But where I will agree, and with you in the previous call was what I said at the top of the show, yesterday's performance, that's not about injuries. This is not about injuries.
We are Chelsea, Chase. We are Chelsea. What's the thematic that's been happening in the last 15 years?
Yep.
We've won more trophies than any other English team. Fact. Yep. I deal on evidence. Fact. Whatever situations have occurred, injuries, and I respect what Dean's been saying, all the rest, we still had managers that managed that position. I am in, and neither is my friends, and we go home and away. No idea what system we're playing, what we're trying to do. Now, the position as I would present it to the jury is I think Tuchel was the best manager, and I've been supporting season ticket holder since I was 5, okay, and I'm 58, is Tuchel. And I'll tell you why. 16 months, he won the Champions League, he won 3 trophies last season, and we lost in 3 finals. The best team in Europe, possibly the world last year, was Liverpool, okay? And we played them 6 times and we lost them penalty shootouts. Fact. So in my view, my considered view, it's only an opinion.
Right.
Tuchel needs to actually sort himself out. Bowley needs to sort himself out. They need to grow a set of cojones, and they need to meet in the middle. And what Tuchel needs to say is, listen, I understand you're corporate.
Yeah.
I may need to report to you. I may need to play the game. Bowley needs to say, listen, dudes, I understand that.
You have to rest your case. So you want Tuchel back? Is that what you're saying? They should.
Look at his pedigree. I
hear you. But the reason, look, thanks for the call, Andrew. I'm happy to. The reason he left, that things weren't great. You know, they weren't. They simply weren't. Now I don't know all of the details, the finer details of it, but things weren't great down at Cobham. He's
obviously thought to himself, I'm not sure I can work with these people, and he's gone.